going to start by talking about the vocab for lesson 12.2. So if you take a look at your flashcards, you can tell we get a little bit more dishes this time and a little bit more descriptions, more on the idea of eating in a school cafeteria. And this time is a conversation between Wang Peng and one of the chefs in the cafeteria. So it's kind of interesting. All right, first vocab here is tu. Tu is vinegar, right? So vinegar is used to create something that's sour in our dishes. So we're going to see that a lot in some of the stuff that requires vinegar. All right. Tang is sugar. So that one creates something that's sweet for us. Therefore, tang cu yu means it's sweet and sour fish. But if you directly translate it, it means that it's sugar and vinegar fish. So it's not the ingredient that makes it, it's the taste that we're describing. Okay. 好吃 literally speaking is good to eat. It means it's tasty. 师傅. So you've heard this before. If you've watched Kung Fu Panda, you've heard of 师傅. In fact, in the cartoon, they call it sifu, right? Sifu is a Cantonese way of saying it. So I always joke and say it's a little ridiculous because they call the turtle Master Ugui, which makes sense. Ugui is a turtle. So Master Ugui is teacher turtle teacher. But then the little rat guy, they call him Master Sifu. So I'm like, you're calling him master? That's kind of weird. But anyway, what am I to say about their choice of words, right? But 师傅 means master. In this case, we mean like master chef. So 师傅, you don't have to use it to describe chef. You can describe anybody who is a master in anything. So if there's a master in Kung Fu, then it's a 功夫师傅, right? In the ancient days, I may even be considered as a 师傅, but I'm a teacher, so it's a little bit different that way. Okay. All right. Let's go. What was the next one? 牛肉. 牛肉 is beef. So 牛 is the cow, but then with the 肉, so it's the meat of the cow, beef. All right. 红烧, that means to braise it with soy sauce. So anything braised in soy sauce, you can have 红烧, right? So you can have 红烧牛肉, 红烧鱼, 红烧豆腐, 红烧 anything, right? So braised in soy sauce is 红烧. Ji is extreme. So if you add it with like north and south, 北极 is the northmost extreme of the earth, and then 南极 is the southmost extreme of the earth. So you got your North Pole and your South Pole. And it's also the same way when you're describing magnets too. So you can say 北极, 南极, North Pole, South Pole on the magnet the same way. Okay. Swan is sour. So then remember our tu up here, tu will be described as swan because tu is sour. And then tang is described as tian because tang is sweet right here. Okay. All right. 米饭. 米饭 is a little redundant. 米饭 is rice. Rice. So there are different kind of fan, right? So there is like 糙米饭, and those are like the brown rice, which I personally am not a fan because brown rice, I think, doesn't taste as good. But some people think it's fantastic. So anyway, it's opinion. All right. 黄瓜, if you literally translate this, it means yellow melon, but it's not. Melon is also squash. So in this case, this is a cucumber. Why is it yellow? I'm not sure because it's more green on the inside, but it's called 黄瓜, all right? And this is one of those famous, not famous, but common dishes. 凉拌. 凉拌 is like a cold dish where you mix the fresh ingredient with like sauces and stuff. So 凉拌黄瓜 is a pretty common dish that I personally am a big fan. You basically take cucumber and chop up some garlic and put in some vinegar, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and just mix it all together. Quite tasty. You should put it in the fridge for a bit of time so it marinates, so the flavor sinks into the cucumber, and it's pretty good. Okay. All right. 鱼 is fish. 牛 is cow, right? So it's not the meat part, it's just the cow, the animal. Okay. 清楚. 清楚 means clear, right? So 不清楚 means I'm unclear or I made a mistake. So again, let's look at the context of our lesson to see how is that used. Okay. 错, we had 错 before. 错 we use it in 不错. 不错 means not bad. But if it's just 错, that means it's wrong. So something is wrong. So if you say you take a test, you got something wrong, you will say, oh, 我错了. How many problems, right? 饭卡, if you go ahead and direct translate this, 饭 is a meal, 卡 is a card, it's a meal card. In college, generally your ID acts as your library card, your bus card, your room key, and your meal card. So when you go into the dorm cafeteria, you just scan your card, you swipe it, and then they'll count how many meals you've eaten that day. So because you prepay for it. So that's kind of how that works. Okay. Die, this die is to bring. There's a lot of die, just kind of like 做. So they all mean something different. But this die is to bring. So apparently in our context, Wang Peng forgot to bring his 饭卡. So and he's a little forgetful. So there's right here. Wang, forget, right? Forget is from the heart. You forget from the heart. It's a really, really deep forgetting. So he forgot to bring his lunch card, his meal card. Okay. All right. Next one, you say 没关系. This is definitely the response to say when someone says 对不起 to you. So 对不起 means I'm sorry. 没关系 means, oh, that's okay. Direct translation, 没关系 means no relation. So it's kind of odd, but you know, the translation of this is really for it's okay. That's no big deal. Okay. Last one, we get another place. We get Shanghai. So Shanghai is Shanghai, obviously. I'm guessing it's close to the harbor, so there's a high in there, but you know, I'm not a big scholar of the China geography. I think in our context, the shifu, the chef, is from Shanghai, so he cooks like very authentic Shanghai food. Okay, all right. So now let's go ahead and go on to our vocab. As always, I'm going to go through this, and feel free to slow it down as much as you need, or you know, watch as much as you need, because this is once again my way of kind of giving all the vocab for you. Okay. All right. It is quite long, so follow along and speed up or slow down as much as you need. All right. First word is 父, 师父的父. So you go 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9. 10 is a little longer. Make sure that is longer. 11、12. Okay. Next word, 糖. 糖 is for sugar. So back in the days, 糖 is made of rice. So that's why it is a rice radical here. You have 1、2、3、4、5、6 is a dot. So you make room, okay? 7、8、9、10、11. Sorry about that. 11、12、13, a little bit out like that. 14、15、16. This is 糖. Next word, 醋. 醋 is for vinegar. All right. Remember, this kind of looks like cool. Cool has the same radical too. So I guess you need this to be cool and to be vinegary. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. You have 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15. 醋. Okay, next word, 鱼. You see the difference between traditional and simplified. So let's do traditional. You have 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11. Now, even though the bottom is a fire radical, I don't think it meant to be a fire radical. I think it meant to be the water that is dripping once you get the fish out of the water. But for some reason, in simplified, that water now becomes a straight line. So it's a straight stream of water that's coming down. Okay? 好，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8. That's your 鱼. Next word, 甜. 甜 means sweet. All right. So remember, if you go to like Ocha or any of those tea era, when you order your boba, they will always ask you like 要多甜, right? 要多甜. Then you can say, now they ask you 要多甜 means how sweet you want it. But when you respond, you don't say 甜, you say 半糖. 半糖is half sugar. Or 少糖 means less sugar, right? So then the sugar controls the sweet. Okay. 好, you get 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11. Okay. Next word, 极，好吃极了. Now this is also really fun. When you've heard of Tai Chi, right? 太极. It's the same 极, so you just put a tai in front. 太极. That is the word for Tai Chi. Okay. All right. You have 1、2、3、4. Don't forget that's a dot. 5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12. Okay. Simplified. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7. You could switch to 5 and 6 if you need to. Okay. All right. Next one, 烧. This is part of 红烧. But if you just use 烧 by itself, it means to burn. So, you know, 烧木头, you burn wood for camping. Okay. So don't see, make sure you see that there's a fire radical because we're burning something. Okay. You have 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13 because you use tool to make your the oven, the firing pit, right? 14、15、16. Okay, now in the simplified, we get 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. Okay. Next word, 牛, much simpler. 牛. This looks like 中午的午. So if you stick this out, it becomes 牛. Be careful of that, okay? All right. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 中午的午 looks like this. So don't forget that's the difference between those two words. Okay, next one, 凉. 凉, simplified and traditional, not too much difference. I guess they just took off a water drop, okay? So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Simplified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 拌, 凉拌. 拌 is to mix it up. So it's a cold mix, right? So 拌, you use your hand to mix it. So there's a hand radical here. We get 1, 2, 3. And on the right hand side, that's 2点半的半. So it's the half. It's the sound of it that makes this word, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 拌. Okay, 瓜. So 瓜 is melon or gourd or squash, any of those. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in the modern saying, if you are gossiping, you like to watch like gossip news, you say 吃瓜 because you not sure why it's 吃瓜. I guess because you're trying to dive into this big news. So in that 吃瓜, you're part of the people that are devouring this information, right? So 吃瓜 的观众, 吃瓜的 audience is one of us, okay? Mi is rice. This is uncooked rice, okay? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the top two are more like dots. The bottom two are longer, much longer, okay? Okay, next one, 忘. 忘 is to forget, okay? There's a heart that's involved. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't forget one inside, 6, and then one outside, 7, okay? All right, next word, 带. All right, to bring, to carry. So a little bit different between the simplified and traditional. So traditional, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Simplified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 带. Okay, next one, 清 is to be 清楚, right? But so this is 清 by itself is clear. This is also the name of the dynasty, the Qing dynasty, the very last dynasty of China. It's also the same Qing here. Okay, excuse me. All right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, next word, 楚, 清楚的楚. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 林 on top. 林 is the forest, all right? And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are lots of words and idioms made with this, but we'll save it for a different day, okay? All right. Then 没关系的关 is a very, very different word between the simplified and the traditional. This is one of those that I can't tell the similarity between the two, so you have to kind of memorize it, okay? All right, let's appreciate this traditional. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay? All right. Simplify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Much, much quicker. All right, 没关系的系. All right, so this one you have simplified traditional. This one I don't need to go over the simplified because simplified is just the right side of your traditional. So I'm just gonna go over the traditional. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, this is a dialogue for lesson 12.2. Let's go ahead and fill this in with the vocab we just did for lesson. All right. So the dialogue goes, 今天是星期四. So today is Thursday. 学生餐厅有中国菜. So I'm guessing their school cafeteria, 学生餐厅, that means student cafeteria, student restaurant. 有中国菜. So I'm guessing their student cafeteria has like different cuisines every single night. So I guess Thursday is a Chinese cuisine night, right? 师傅是上海人, so the chef. Right, so 师傅是上海人. right? 上海人. He is from Shanghai. Okay. So Wang Peng is having a dialogue with 师傅. He starts with 师傅请问今天晚饭有什么好吃的 So he wants to know what is delicious tonight. Basically, he's asking in another way. He's asking, what do you recommend for tonight? So 师傅 says, 我们今天有糖醋鱼. So we have sweet and sour fish. So 糖醋鱼. Oops, sorry. 糖醋鱼甜甜的酸酸的 So sour, sweet and a little bit sour. 好吃极了 This is super delicious. 好吃极了 Hold on. I know. I forget 好吃极了 I know this. I know the traditional. Simplify. I forgot for a bit. It's okay. All right. 好吃极了 Okay. All right. I'm going to make my pencil a little bit smaller. Okay. 你买一个吧 So he's recommending that. He said, oh, it's really good. Go ahead and try it today. He goes, 好今天有没有红烧牛肉 So is there soy sauce braised 牛肉 right 有没有红烧牛肉 So he says 没有你已经要鱼了 So there is no 牛肉 But he says 你已经要鱼了别吃肉了 So you already have a meat dish You already have a protein Don't take any more protein He says 来个凉拌黄瓜吧 So how about we try this 凉拌黄瓜吧 So how about 凉拌黄瓜 How about a cold cut cucumber Okay says 好 Okay that's great 再来一碗米饭 So I'm gonna have rice too right 再来一碗米饭一共多少钱 How much is it He says 糖醋鱼 Now he's counting just like last lesson We're gonna count our order 糖醋鱼4.5 So 4.50凉拌黄瓜凉拌黄瓜1.7一碗米饭5毛钱一共6.7 Uh-oh, what happened? 王鹏 says 师傅糟糕 Oh no, 糟糕我忘了带饭卡了 He forgot to bring his meal card Which is weird because it's our ID But and maybe it's a different one He says 这是10块钱 So he didn't bring his meal card But he brought cash So that's okay So 师傅 says 找你3.3 So 6.7找你3.3Sorry, all of a sudden I'm looking at this going, he did not give him wrong. Am I wrong? 6.7 6.70 $10 isn't that 3.30 So he says 找你3.3 should be correct But here it says 师傅 This is a weird one I have to check this when I get back to school 师傅钱你找错了 He says you were wrong in the change Okay 多找了我1块钱 You gave me a dollar extra And then 师傅 says 对不起我没有看清楚 I'm sorry I didn't see clearly right 我没有看清楚 So Wang Peng of course says 没关系 so it's okay 没关系 Oh sorry this is simplified I forget this is only this part Okay so he says 下个星期四再来 and he says 好再见 So he's gonna come again next Thursday So I'm gonna check this part But for the purpose of our text, just go ahead and fill this in, okay? Let's go over to the workbook pages, okay? You are responsible for doing part 1. Okay, so go ahead and work on part 1. And then you need to finish up. Let me check real quick. You need to finish up sections 1 through 3A. So 1, I will play the audio for you right now for part B and part C. Please make sure you do part 2 with writing. And then 3A, I want you to do it by yourself. And then we can check all this when I come back. Okay. We will check it either on Tuesday or on Thursday. So we'll take a look at that. But here is 1B. So I'm going to play 1B audio for you. Okay. All right. 12:2.
B. Workbook Dialogue.
我们今天晚上吃什么？
我想做红烧牛肉、糖醋鱼、凉拌黄瓜。
太好了，有没有汤？
你想喝汤？
对，我想喝汤。你做菜，我做汤吧。酸辣汤怎么样？
好，酸辣汤你做的比我好。
哪里，我做的不好，我只想帮你。
谢谢，那我们开始吧。
Okay, as you remember, it's very fast. So feel free to rewind and play this again as many times as you need. Okay. And then this is 1C.
C. Listening Rejoinder. 我们今天有糖醋鱼，甜甜的，酸酸的，好吃极了。你买一个吧。
A. 你们今天为什么没有鱼呢？ B. 对不起，你多找了我1块钱。C. 好吧。糟糕，师傅，我忘了带钱了。D. 是啊，酸辣汤酸酸的，辣辣的，好喝极了。
Okay, make sure you select the right choice for this.